Good morning, cyber traders, and welcome on this Thursday. 30 minutes till the market opens up. Fresh 9 a.m. here, live in New York. Good to see you, Gils, Michael, everybody. So anyway, earnings are starting to come out, and we're getting some good action. Microsoft did really, really well. Oh, thank God. I was I was getting so nervous on certain stocks out there, but yeah, no, we're doing really, really well on this one right here because it teed up other stocks that made some big moves that we were in. So Microsoft, like you see, did a really nice move. Stock was all the way down. Let me just blow up this big chart right here. You can see it right here. So we had a slingshot here, but it started right around this 390. It was like 360 up to 430. That's a pretty big ass move. Almost about could be almost like 60, 70 points on 100 shares. You have to look at 1,000, but if you did 100, you took about 6 points, $6,000 right there. So nice little move on that. So it teed up other stocks that move up pretty well. So it worked out pretty well for NVIDIA. That one did pretty well from it because Microsoft does a lot in the AI business. So NVIDIA with the chips and obviously Amazon, which, by the way, is coming out today. We have a lot of big earnings. We got Amazon, you got Google that's coming out. A couple of big ones are coming up right there. Yeah, we just got the list. Let's just post up the list right here. So I'm going to share it with you. The guys are watching. So you got Amazon, you got Apple, you got Airbnb, Reddit. That's going to be also a pretty big one. We've been watching that one. And then obviously tomorrow before the open, not that much. But Eli Lilly did come out with earnings too. And, I want to see what happened. That was not good with Eli Lilly. You can see that stock took a very, very big hit. Eli Lilly's been having a really big run lately. So it's funny. It trades at 700. You get at 900. Trades at 700, get at 900. So that one also did pretty well. What happened to the other ones? We had Roblox, right? The Roblox also came out earnings this morning. Was it RBLX? That one did I still can't figure that stock out. So anyway, but I don't trade it. CVS came out with some good earnings too this morning. You also had McDonald's. Was it Bax? Spelt it wrong. What was it again? Hold on. It was MCD. I'm sorry. MCD. Once again, not really that much. We don't really trade that. Shack is pretty big. Shake Shack is a very big one. That one took a very big hit up on a big trend, might be pushing up a little well this morning. And MasterCard, always a big plus on that one. Everybody's charging everything. So that one did not really a stock that we really trade. But we do trade CVS once in a while. Eli Lilly we trade. Shake Shack obviously once in a while. But the big one is going to be this afternoon. So we're going to see how that's going to affect the stocks going into the open. Going into tomorrow's open, obviously, but this afternoon. So bunch of good stocks that are moving pretty well. So that looks pretty well. All right. So, but there are a lot of other stocks. Let's talk about what happened yesterday because we did pretty well on a couple of stocks. Palantir is obviously stocks has been our favorite. Right at that resistance, all-time highs. So what a great run up on that Palantir, right above 60, went up to 120. I don't know if anyone here got a piece of that, but we've been a big fan of Palantir for a while. And right back up to that big resistance. And I'll tell you, that big contract was big for them, signing that NATO contract. And if you're watching on social media, you'll see I did a lot of good short videos on Palantir of how to trade that. So definitely, if you get a chance, subscribe to it. By the way, just to remind everyone here, let me change this slide so you guys can watch on the screen a little bit better. Just if you're watching on social media today, we will be broadcasting live up until 10:30. So don't log out. Be here. And if you ever want to join our trading room, you always take your phone, scan the QR code on the top right-hand corner, and we'll be able to get that to you. All right. So a couple of the stocks that did pretty well yesterday. This CEP did really well, 32 to 47. She's still a little bit strong. You can see this stock has not stopped. This is a real story with the stock with this merger. Okay. So I know some here bought the stock, bought at 16, did overnight, sold at 22, did great. And you're like, oh my God, 46. And this is not a short squeeze. Okay. This is actually a real equity partnership regarding about how the stock's coming out. The stock has been on our watch list almost every day. It's not more of a day trade anymore. It's been more of a swing trade, but I don't know where the actual official number is, like what it's really worth. But by God, this thing is up about 400% in less than a week. So whatever they're paying for it is a lot. Okay. Now, SMCI also had earnings and they were not good, but it bounced back. I'll show you what happened the day before. You could see here on the long term. Here we go. You can see earnings came out. We went to a little too far. There we go. All right. So earnings came out. It was at 36, shot all the way down to a big support level. It was at 28 and right back down to 32. So that was a really good call yesterday. And when we were in the cyber group room, I was telling you, me and Josh were talking about it. And I said, listen, I know we were trading other stocks, but SMCI hit a really big support level when it did a slingshot right at that 28.75. It did it. It tested. It did a double bottom. And look where it ended up going up. Could have got out at least at 31, 32, right around that range. So SMCI is obviously also benefiting from what happened with Amazon. That was pretty good. And one last but not least, before we go through the watch list, I want to bring up the IVF. This one right here had a little bit of good move this morning. Cheap little stock. Nice little push. Had some nice icebergs, and that pretty much does it there. But let's go through the watch list because there are some really, really good stocks that are moving, okay? So I know some of you have been trading the Z-Car this morning. Big seller just showed up here. Not really big seller at 920. But Z-Car, just be very careful. It is a category 3 right now, I would say. Could be a 4, but up 20%. Up $5. Some of you remember this stock. We've been trading Z-Car for a long time. Obviously, the news that they came out with obviously is great, but Z-Car did a couple of reverse stock splits. You could see, obviously it wasn't at the 300 price range, but Z-Car is a fun stock. We're going to put this on the watch list right here. A lot of you were trading this stock this morning, and this is what probably was the best stock in pre-market right now. Kid Z. So it just started late. It only started right around 8:45. Some of you jumped in. We had it on the watch list, about $1.50. Beautiful stock, ran to $2.60. That is a huge, huge winner. Okay. That is no joke right there. Big winner, tradable, probably one of the best pre-market trades that we had in about a week or two. Nice spread, nice price, great movement. So, and for some of you, unfortunately, that are not in part of our pre-market trading room, I told you always can come and join us by, clicking on that QR code on the top right-hand corner. But once again, if you made your money for the day, you should be done for the day. Awesome trade. I know some of you guys did jump on it. Also, a couple other stocks. I want to scratch this one out. This is going to be it had a good move. It had good earnings yesterday. It looks like it had earnings yesterday. 3 up to 6. It's starting to trend down. I'll put this on a B list. NAOV. Common moving up pretty well today, this morning. I don't know about the spread. Volume, I'll put this on the B list. COMM. Just working our way down that list. This stock's been going up pretty nicely. It's got a weird spread too. It's not bad. It's not bad. If the spread works out better, I mean, it's up 200,000 shares. Nice little move. ABVE. I don't know. I see something going on that it could be a really good stock. This is the Microsoft ETF right here. So this one's obviously doing pretty well. This is another ETF on Microsoft that's doing pretty well. All right. This one, nice little push on this one, but not really tradable for us. METU, not tradable. FBU, not really tradable. All these are pretty much not tradable. All right. A couple of stocks are getting crushed. Okay. So this one's getting hammered right now. Obviously, it is not looking good. Is it testing some support levels here? Did it break it? The lows there is 590-ish. Are we there yet? No, we're not there yet. So let's put that on the watch list. ARVN. So could it be another SMCI? We just got to find out, right? This one we're not trading. Here's another ETF, the opposite. Everyone's getting crushed on this one, but you know what? I don't know. Looks like it's getting close to the support levels around here at 1290, right? MSFD. Not bad. Another ETF. My God, how many damn ETFs are? I didn't even know Microsoft even had that many ETFs. Holy crap. Another one. Oh, it's the Meta one. Okay, Meta stock. There are just so many ETFs. You know what? Who do you think has the most ETFs on a specific stock? I think it's Tesla, right? But look at this. This one, another Microsoft ETF. This one, a NVIDIA ETF. NVIDIA's got a lot too, actually. CVS, we'll put this on the wall. CVS, I'm telling you, making a big comeback. CVS took a really big hit. And I don't know if it's going to be a good day trade, though, but it could be a good, decent swing trade. Looks like it's breaking highs. Is that what they're doing? Everyone's jumping on the Wegovy and the drugs, right? That's the news on the CVS that came out. We'll just post that here on social media if you guys want to read it. And now CVS has decided that Wegovy semi-load injection to the most widely prescription study will soon be a preferred medicine on its large commercial template. All right. I mean, I don't really know how that make it grow so much, but apparently it is. All right, losers. Anything on the New York Stock Exchange? Usually not, other than ETF. Okay, so we got a pretty decent list here. If you were here early this morning, you jumped on that Kid Z, you did great. If you jumped on the Z car, you did great. And other than that, we're going to see what else moves up. Okay, a couple of the stocks you can see right here. We have a couple of pushes over here. Delta Airlines, everything's moving up pretty well. Anchor, Archer, Palantir, NVIDIA, the NVDL that we got. Oh, that looks pretty good. All right. So let's get ready for the Moderna's tanking. MNDR from Lita. MRN Moderna. There we go. Listen, COVID is over. It's been over for 5 years. Okay. Look at back last year, it was at 170. It looks, is it coming to some support levels? I don't know, but we don't really trade Moderna that much. We used to. It was fun. But I don't know if you guys ever watched a video that I did on NASDAQ. You know, I do a lot of presentations for NASDAQ teaching you how to use NASDAQ Book Viewer. And there was one scene in the beginning before COVID took up. I think it was in February. I did on Moderna. I didn't know what Moderna was at the moment at that time, but stock was at like $28. It was going nuts. And the thing was like a category 1 became a category 5. And then sure enough, we know when Moderna ended up going up to like 500. So that was a pretty good video. Get a chance to watch it. Definitely check it out. All right, traders, let's get ready for the market opened up. We're going to be back in 15 minutes. If you're watching on social media, do not log out. We will still be back here in 15 minutes broadcasting the open for the next hour. Cyber traders, you see something, you say something. And then today, don't forget, big event, open house at 12 o'clock. So anyone here want to come and join us, you're more than welcome to. If you want to learn how to trade the right of the chart and stop learning and be a follower, and you want to be a leader and using indicators, great opportunity to be there. All right, guys, we'll see you in a little bit. Don't go anywhere, all right? We'll take a 15-minute break, and we'll be here for the open. Me and Josh will be here for the open to trade the open with you guys. All right, traders. Everybody hear me okay?
Yep, you were good, Fausto. How's everything going?
I'm doing good, doing good. Just making sure I got one muted and other one not in the other room. So we are broadcasting from two rooms, everybody. We have the cyber floor going on. So if you're there, great to see you. And we're broadcasting live on social media. And welcome back. We do this once a week. And this is our opening markets. There we go, opening bell.
Yep, we're getting a nice pop right away just on Microsoft. Obviously, we always wait the first few minutes to begin, just hang back, but we're just mentioning coming off the earnings that we had yesterday. Definitely nice to have, definitely nice to see here at least.
Yeah, we did pretty well on the Z card, moved up pretty well in the pre-market. For everyone here who logged in and was in the morning meeting or in the pre-market here on the trading floor, you probably did really well. So that was really nice. Actually, the Kid Z was actually the one I meant to
Yeah,
say.
kids was great. I mean, it's easy to say it worked out so nice, but I'll tell you what, we were on top of this right inside our room early at like 8:45. I was just scanning around Fausto. I saw it pop up. It's so simple how it worked out, of course. Not every trade works as easy as this, but once you had this 15,000 share buyer pop up,
Uh-huh.
instant perfect. It was just incredible once this iceberg showed up on the bid. Tell you what, Faust, a little free advertising today. I got a face for radio, so I got a hat on, but this is, of course, our student Andrea's company, Forno Cultura. So repping his company this morning. Sent me some
Very
good
nice.
biscotti, some nice coffee, some good maple syrup, and some merch too. Yeah, Kerry killed it on both the kids trade and Z car. She nailed it just from earlier, so she's off for a few hours. We'll catch you later, Kerry. Have a great morning.
Carrie's always banging things out really early. She's doing great. Good for you, Carrie. Really working out pretty well for her. What was the big winner? She was what was the big winner she had? Was the one that we missed out was the
Oh my God, off the top of my head, I forget. Holy shit.
I
Not
said this.
MLGO. She does so well on that
No,
anyway.
the CEP.
CEP. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it. CEP.
yeah, CEP. That was it. Damn thing is like
The thing is if you're trading pre-market, hey, this is what we train you to do, to take this as a part-time job, to take off for a few hours and come back, right? So I'm so happy to see Carrie doing that. And for anyone else that made money like pre-market hours, stick with us for a little bit perhaps, but hey, take time off for yourself. That's what we want to do.
Mm-hmm. So we got 2 more minutes left.
Meta
Car got
pulled back a
halted.
little bit here, but Microsoft's still holding. So as long as the larger cap stocks are holding up, that's good.
So we just posted, Rich has posted in the alerts. If anyone's not subscribed to our alert service, we use Telegram and it's on X. But if you're in our trading floor, you probably get it with the app too. But Zcard just got halted. One of the was the first stock on the watch list, which you guys could see. And yeah, that one's looking pretty strong. What's the news on Zcar? Do we even know?
Let's take a look. I think that Rich posted earlier. I'll just get it here.
Yeah, we just posted that link if anybody wants to come and join the.
Oh, so at least as of 8 o'clock in the morning, we didn't see any actual news, Fausto.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Up 182%. There's got to be something out there.
Yeah, there has to be, unless if it's like some crazy targeted, attack. But you know what? Hey, that's just where at least we don't need the news. We need the volume, right? So it's good to at least see this still pushing up. And of course, we want a catalyst, right? Like we were saying actually the other day, and there was a trade that did pretty nice. Just came off good earnings, and that's something that makes you feel better about trying to enter.
Bill, you're off to PT. Well, hopefully everything works out and hopefully getting better and better.
Yeah, I want to give a couple
Seems
quick
very
shout
important.
outs. Bill on PT. I know Wendy came off a big operation she had said recently. Quick shout out to, of course, our guy Grant tomorrow. I think he's going in for a procedure. Actually, also quick shout out, Fausto, to one of our longtime students, Pat. I know his wife just came off a big surgery yesterday. They were waiting for this to get some big relief. She's been in pain, so wishing everyone well here.
Yep. Health before everything.
Well, I'll tell you, the stock I said just before off the earnings, I didn't name it just before, but of course we've been calling it out from this week. LEG, LEG. That's trying to go back up a little bit. It's more of a swing trade candidate than anything, I feel, because it's only trading 80,000 shares so far. Just figured it was interesting. It popped back up here.
Go check out PECEP. Look at the spread, how disgusting that thing is. It's almost like $1 wide, but it's just what's the new who they merge with? What was the purpose of the merger again?
So that's Cantor Fitzgerald, who's Howard Lutnick's
Right.
company. So him plus SoftBank, which is a major company. They did some AI deal a little while back with NVIDIA. And then Jack Maller's company. Jack Maller's is a major crypto,
Right. It's the
I
crypto
don't want to
thing.
say influencer because he's much more than that. He has been a huge person in the, revolution of Bitcoin just over the last several years.
That's a hell of
Young
a
cat, that
merger.
guy too. So it's kind of an interesting pair up.
Hell of a merger. Damn.
Peter D asking anyone watching COHR. Well, we will now. Let's take a look. The only issue there, Pete, is just again the spread. CEP is making such a crazy good move that we're focused on it a bit there, but normally you do want to focus on stocks with like a penny spread, a couple penny spread. When the spread is that open, 20, 30 cents, it just makes it a lot more difficult to manage trades.
A lot of things are moving up pretty well. That Microsoft definitely give a nice little push. Tesla's going back up. Amazon's up right back to right around those highs. 190 is a pretty big resistance levels on Amazon and 200 on Amazon, but Tesla's bouncing on that 290 resistance. It's getting there. It's really getting there. Where's the iceberg order? Is he still out there? Oh shit! There's a shitload of iceberg orders out there.
I got a trade in the pipeline, but it really needs to keep doing what it's doing now. The NAOV, it was on our list. It's trying to push up a little bit here, but again, it's got to make the higher highs. That's the key.
The Bitcoin, go back to Bitcoin, Josh. I mean, the IBIT is doing pretty well. Bitcoin right back up to almost like 90, almost 97,000, 96.5 right
Finally,
now.
finally, we are breaking out of that damn consolidation.
Yeah, it was
um,
95,000. That was the issue.
Yeah, right, just around there. It's been such a pain. And it's funny, this chart here that Rich shows, either Bitcoin or IBIT, it actually doesn't show the weekends there on our trading platform. If
Right.
you're on Trading View, if you got the actual Bitcoin chart, it shows weekends, Saturday, Sunday. So including Saturdays and Sundays, the last few weeks, it's just been in this range. It's been tough. Definitely nice to have it begin to break out here now.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the NAOV for a moment, Rich, because it needs to bounce sooner, like very soon. It needs to stay over basically 420, 419.
We got a push on this stock right here that just came up on my watch list. Got crushed. Did it gap down? WNC. What's up with
Oh,
this
that
one right
was
here?
nice. About time, I guess. That was on our afternoon list, but it was like kind of a dud. We were looking for some sort of move on it yesterday.
It got crushed yesterday. A lot of support levels just right below 7, but now it's really keeping up. It's got a lot of resistance levels right here. Yesterday's highs was it hit and back right off. It looks like it broke at $8.
That spread, though, for an $8 stock is bad.
It wasn't that bad when I posted up just a minute ago. It was just
No,
like
yeah.
it looked like a penny spreads.
That's the thing. You got to keep your eyes on it a bit. So it's good to for any of our students, if you shout out a stock that has a penny spread when you're watching it, good. If it just opens up there, it's like, oh, okay. Just keep your eyes on it there. That's all.
Could be have a good short right now on OGN. It's on my short list.
It's funny, Fausto. I'll have students at times like make a great call out, and it's a great call out, but it just, we don't control these stocks. So if it just makes a crazy shake back down out of nowhere, I'll see a student say like, "Oh, sorry guys." It's like, "Hey, you don't control it. You don't control that one. It's all right." It was a great call out, but if the stock has like a big spread suddenly, or if it shakes down, it's all right. Let's move on to a different one.
Yeah, Z-Car is getting pretty ugly, by the way. That's some ugly spread. It's like a category 3, maybe a 4. Bigger the
Good
spread,
direction though.
the
Good
more it goes up.
momentum here.
Iceberg order just showed up here at 13 for like 17,000. As you see right here.
So I'm on the NAOV. It's not doing much as of yet, but if it just begins to hold over 420, there's a chance for a better move up over time.
That the kid Z is done for now. Oh, wow. Haven't heard about this stock for a while. Netgear, that's up a little bit this morning.
Netgear, that's still
Yeah,
trading.
NTGR.
Wow.
That's a blast from the past.
Rich, do me a favor. We're just gonna have a little fun. Flip the daily to a monthly, and basically make sure you go back to go back 70 years. Obviously, it hasn't been around that long, but show the data even if you can from the 90s, or maybe is that it from 2004? All right, it's a lot of data. Been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time. Got to pop that big iceberg order was just filled on Zcar at 13. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Oh, yeah, it's looking pretty good for right now, and I'll wish it into existence here. Let's get a nice big fat buyer to show up right now.
So Zcar, it looks like I don't know about you, but it looks like a gap fill.
Yeah, Rich, turn the perfect. You're good.
1436. We only need one runner. Remember, everybody, you only got to trade one share. One stinking share. We're going to get a halt. We're going to get a
Here we go.
halt.
It's starting to kick in.
Yep. I've been holding for a little while, but I didn't buy
Cross
too
my
many
fingers
shares
here
yet.
so I don't jinx it. But yeah, looking good.
Here comes the halt. It's halted.
There we go. Excellent. Are you in, Fausto? You jump in?
I own a very small lot. I didn't buy that much of it. I chased it. I mean, I got it right around like 1150 or some crap. I think it is. I hide my watch. I hide my orders. I didn't want it to distract me.
Yeah.
But
Well, we got this halted right now. We'll wait a few more minutes for that to reopen up. My NAOV is not doing much, which, quite frankly, it's not terrible that it's not doing anything, but rather begin to see it pop, though. I'm going to jump to my scanner here, Benzinga.
OGN has probably been the nicest one so far, to be honest with you. It's been a good short ever since. Got a nice spread. It's like a category 2, maybe a 3. Keeps making new lows. They see it just broke a 52-week low, so not very good.
NAOV just popped right now. It's at 442. It's starting to move up pretty nice. Pulling it out off of 420. It still needs to make higher highs. It hasn't even done that part yet, actually.
I wouldn't say, Jeff, PLTR is tanking. All right. It did back off a little bit. There's a lot of resistance levels here at the 120. If this stock breaks 120, my God, I'll be petrified where it's going from there.
Yeah, if PLTR is tank, or if see, this is where you don't want to get too hung up on a move. If PLTR was tanking earlier, Jeff, then what do you call yesterday morning? Because that was falling off a cliff in the morning before it bounced. Yeah, so a little pullback. It's a matter of seeing support build.
I don't have.
I've learned that myself, Fausto. I try not to get too emotional about downward moves because we've seen worse. We've seen even crazier. So just make sure that you know where your support is. Look on Bookmap.
So Palantir
Bookmap now for Palantir, you got this 86,000 share buyer at 118.
Yeah, keep going up.
When shaking back down a little bit, still over 96,000. If we fall back to 95 and under, I'll be upset.
I'll take a screenshot. I'll share it with some of the people on our alert service. But here's I think you'll want to see what this is. This is the right of the chart. This is a beautiful chart right here. All right, let me post it in our alerts.
My NAOV needs to begin to pop higher soon. I'll pull the plug on it if it just begins to stall out more here now.
All right. So if you're in our alert service, you should be able to see that. If you subscribe to our X, once again, if you're watching online, all you have to do is just click on that link right there that we posted. You can watch it there and get that alert.
75,000 share seller, Fausto just posted to our students in the room.
just to have a game plan on a swing trade.
Definitely. And you're going to be going over that a bit today too. Hey, our whole webinar later today, our introductory to trading webinar, is more based around swing trading entries.
That's right.
Here comes CEP testing that $50 level. That's a pretty big seller out there for CEP.
You know what's kind of weird? I don't know what this means, but like I own CONY. I know a lot of us here, and it closed yesterday at like 820, and it's at like 750. But it shows it's up on my account. It shows it's up. It didn't
Oh,
really.
this is what I'm talking about. So remember I told you a little while back, because we're on the first of the month. Remember BITO, the Bitcoin ETF? And I said, ooh, that one's not good.
Right.
So the reason I said that wasn't good is actually because with the dividend payout, and I don't know how it works with the option stuff, like the Cone Y one, the TSLY one, but from the last day of the month going into the first day of the new month, I
Right.
always tend to see a drop off on those ETFs. So I wonder if the same is happening on CONY, like you had mentioned.
Yeah, but it's showing it's up on my account. It's showing up that it's up like 2%, like 1.5%.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
Coinbase itself is up 1%, but this is down 7. It pays out the dividend. And I think because of that, this ticker price drops on the very first of the month. Take a look at TSLY, Rich.
TSLY doesn't pay for a while though.
Well, this one's cooperating a lot more.
I like this one a lot better. It's at major resistance. It was a really good buy at 7.
There has to be something with how the ETF is made, Fausto, for why that CONY is like down.
Yeah, I mean, because that's a pretty big drop.
It's got to be something with that dividend, because I had the same issue with BITO with me and lost money on that overtime. Also, just speaking right now, I got taken out break even on NAOV. Just I had my stop set exactly at my break even price, 420, and broke below. So all good.
So if you sold it yesterday, you didn't get your dividend. But if you sell it today, you get your dividend because they pay you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22, right?
They catch 22. So you made money on it. That's a pretty.
Now imagine the people playing the options of that ETF ticker.
Yeah.
Because for the BITO, I was buying calls. I mean, I know they're made differently, but point being is like at the end of the month, the ticker price drops. So if you're doing in the money or out of the money calls either way, those premiums are getting crushed going into the next morning. So I learned the hard way on that with options. The Z car's flying after it popped that resistance you called out, Fausto, at 13.
Yep.
I mean, even before
Z-car?
that it was.
Look, it's going up great. It's doing well, Z-car.
Yep. Really good move. Kids, KIDC is trying to go back up a little bit. There could be something there, but let's have it start to move like this at least. Another halt coming in.
So I'm gonna try to. I gotta figure something out here because this is like a lesson learned. I gotta see something really quick.
The NAOV here, and now you have a buyer sticking out there on the bid. This might look to make the move I was looking for just before. Shook me out break even, but it popped back up quick. So I may look to re-enter on that. We'll see. CEP's flying, the Z car. Those are your two big ones to work off of right now. Jeff, hey, Palantir's going back up, my friend. So, it's all a matter of just knowing where your support levels are.
Yeah, like I said, it's a huge iceberg. It gets past this 125. This thing's off to races. And those big iceberg orders have a lot to do with it. And that's CEP. Yep, beautiful move. I mean, that news is they love it. I'm just going back, Josh, on the CONY. I'm trying to figure this out. So if I own the stock at like, I think it was like 650, right? But yesterday it closed at 820, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say I bought 1,000 shares. Like right now, I lost overnight. I lost 75 cents. 75 cents on 1,000 shares is $750.
Yep.
All right. So I need to see what the history is going to be on that I'm going to get paid on it. You know what I mean?
You got to basically deduct that drop, but add the dividend payout that you get to see, is it worth holding on to? I think
Right.
that's what you're saying, right?
Right. That's my point I'm trying to say. So sometimes like that's where the catch 22, you want to get caught in these because these trends, so you don't get screwed on it. You know what I mean?
This kids trade's about to get. Ooh, it looked like it was about to get halted almost. It was kicking in for a second.
'Cause I'm looking at coin, and coin obviously did pretty well because it's the ETF of that.
Yep, here comes a halt right now on kids.
On kids.
Excellent here. This is looking good.
Yeah. Kids, another one. That one just came out of nowhere. You had a couple of minutes to get into that one.
Yep, I was calling that out just before. It's pushing back up.
Let me tell
There
you,
you
not a
go.
lot of
Alex
stocks
Poe
this
got in and
morning.
out for 50 cents.
You know what was great? Look at the top 2 stocks that we had on the watch list.
Yeah, the
Cars,
kids and the
Z-Car and Kid Z.
yep. Debbie getting some good money. She's been doing great so far with us since she joined on. And slow and steady wins the race, right? So you go from paper trading to live. You're just doing small size to begin. That's how you gain confidence. So very nice job, Debbie and Alex Poe, and a few more of us here as well. NAOV is trying to bounce now. It is trying to make that move.
Andre just made a comment here. TSLY is like that for me as I need to watch. It drops against the dividend and as I receive
this NAOV is playing with me here, Fausto.
Is it really?
Yeah, these orders on the bid begin to show up, stacking up, and they just got pulled right now in the last 30 seconds. That's where if it's not making higher highs, that's where it could tease you and lure you in. Like, it needs to pop right now.
I don't know if I got the short off on
to run.
I don't know if I got the short off on OGM, but that thing just beautiful drop. That thing just dropped about 50, 60 cents when I called it out.
Yeah. Very nice trade. Or Charlene made her day's pay right there. Thought it was going to be a no trade day for her. She's late for work. Well, hopefully you made more money here than you were in the work.
I like that,
right?
Charlene.
But come back later, Charlene, for the afternoon. That's for sure.
I guess the coaching's working out for you, Charlene. There you go. I love to hear that. 20 minutes into the open, taking the day off, made my money for the day. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. Rich calling out Finger FNGR, making a move up.
Lynn,
it's going to have a bit of a spread there. That's the biggest focal point, guys. Got to make sure the stocks that you're trading have a pretty tight spread. This could open up a little bit here. And that's what made Kids such a good trade, at least. I mean, Z-Car too, but Kids had the good spread. This is tightening up a little bit here, Finger. Little move up also on this one from pre-market, Fausto. Did we have this on the list also? Like, it was just a little active, wasn't the best. ETWO. Little pop, good spread. Hanging around $2.50.
That one looks pretty good. Yeah, Newsmax, getting you back to Lynn and Randy. Yeah, nice little push on that one. I mean, that stock's been getting really crushed for a while after we saw it go from 25 up to like 250. It was 1,000% on that thing. A lot of support levels here. I like it. The candlesticks, the last 5 days have been green, so they probably have something to do with it.
Here comes my NAOV. Come on, buddy. Let's make this big blast. It still hasn't even done that yet. It's like inching up, inching up.
I'm going to buy back my short on OGN for now. So do we know if there was news on Z-Car or Kid Z?
The Kid Z, I think there was news that we posted before. The Z-Car, just checking again.
I'm looking it up, and I don't know. It showed me something. They basically they reported higher unordered monthly contribution profits.
There's some news from like a week and a half ago on it, but
earnings
I got
got to be
nothing from
earnings.
Benzinga.
Zcar did a 20-for-1 reverse stock split back in March.
And Kids Z trade should reopen up pretty soon.
All right, so this is actually pretty educational. This is Zcar. I'm going to share it in the room. So some of you always ask, like, why they do so many, reverse stock splits? So that was the news on Zcar. So you can see from that news right there, everybody, that it says in compliance with Nasdaq's minimum bid price to requirement. So, and that's exactly what I was trying to tell you the other day, because people ask me why they do that. It's for compliance purposes, for them to trade certain markets. Like you don't want to get knocked down to the pink sheets or whatever. But getting back to Kid Z, you're watching that, right? Yeah. So we're getting like slingshots everywhere.
This is becoming pretty volatile, so be careful of those shakes. But it's doing great still here. It's an IPO kind of, or like some new company, so you definitely be careful of just, if it fails to push higher, it's going to come down twice as fast.
Kid Z moving.
I took a third of my profit just here on NAOV. I did jump back in off of 420. I took a third out, and it's at least chump change. It's some money to get me in green. I knew today I wouldn't be trading as much. I got a couple things on the back end taken care of here, Fausto, and that's where you say you don't want to multitask. You don't want to be doing 5 different things at once if you're risking your money.
Josh, when's this CEP going to stop?
Well, that's the thing. It's a Bitcoin stock, so if this begins to run with Bitcoin, then it's going to really keep pushing. Right now, Bitcoin's just kind of down a little bit. So the fact that this is going up as much as it is, that's very impressive. Yep, and the NAOV is not making my move, so I'm happy I took a little money there. But yeah, Chris, basically you're right. Every $10 now, you could even say 5, but absolutely 60 is your big resistance now. There was a 130,000 share seller actually at $60 there before, but they pulled most of their order. Oh, Brad, nice catch from Brad right there. You got over $1 on that kid's trade from earlier. He was in from 245. One of our longtime members here.
Let me see something here.
Got to move on from NAOV. The more that you watch a stock not make a move, imagine the amount of opportunity that you're missing, right? If you are like hungry and thirsty to trade today, right now, this is where you got to be following stocks with good trends. Kids, CEP. Just make sure the spreads are pretty tight though overall, and it'd be tough to do that with CEP of all things, but the others definitely.
Okay. I'm just looking at some of these positions in the news, what's going on, to make sure that what I'm getting paid on and not getting paid on, to make sure I'm not holding something that keeps going lower. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder if we do get more of a drop off here today, just coming off yesterday's move.
Well, good thing
SPY still holding support nice.
Covered the OGN. That worked out pretty well.
Pretty much for CEP at this point, especially with it at all-time highs, focus on your even more round numbers, not just the dollar levels, but your $5 and $10 levels. So those will be very important here.
This CEP scares me.
Yeah, definitely now.
I just see, like, I can see the stock going, like, it could be one of those stocks that go to like $100, $200, like how we saw like Newsmax. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the thing is, I think this will be a longer push to. I think this will stay better. It'll move better over time compared to Newsmax. I think
it was such a great call when we saw it around $30. It was consolidating there. The ending of April. was consolidating. It's a great consolidation on that stock. So, I mean, chasing it now would be crazy. But like, if you see a consolidation like that for like 3-4 days, we teach that in class. I mean, yeah, I mean that's everything.
Speaking of consolidation, really off that whole, Kids has been consolidating pretty well.
I was just gonna say that. I saw that.
You have these two orders on the bid, so maybe they'll even try and ladder up more. As I say
Oh,
that,
you dropped down. I just saw.
they went down, they didn't go up. That's funny.
You sure did. You
Literally
routed
real
down.
time as I just said that. You're like,
Great. By the way, if
up.
you're watching on social media, today at 12 o'clock, I'm going to be doing open house. If you want to see exactly what we're talking about, just take your phone, just scan that QR code, turn your camera on. You can scan that QR code and you'd be happy to join us. I'm going to be doing an event teaching you guys a little bit of how to read the right of the chart. So if you haven't done it yet, before we go.
Focused on a couple smaller cap stocks today. Of course, with all the earnings out, I could have been more focused with just buying like calls and just looking for bounces on the larger caps. I wanted to stick with Kids and NAOV. Just over time, if there's something moving up pretty nice, see if there's a good opportunity to buy. Yeah, Palantir now is making a new low of the day, so that's dropping off now a little bit more. Broke below that support that we called out at 118.
Let me tell you, hell of a run. I mean, I would take my money and I would just buy it back if it breaks to 125. You know what I mean?
Try and take the easier move up, but it's okay to sacrifice a few bucks here because you feel like if it breaks 125, there's just a much easier move ahead, right?
Well, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money right there. That's a big ass order. 125 times 350,000 shares. It's $43 million worth of stock out there. And remember, that's not one person. That is multiple orders around from everywhere.
Oof, that trade from earlier, one of the ones from earlier, we called out Finger FNGR. That thing ended up pulling back quite a bit. So it goes to show at least, hey, like we know this happens. For our students that we train, you got to use the 30-second rule. Make sure that your stops are set. Whatever that you do to make you feel better about getting out before the crash. That's it.
I know we were looking at some of the car stocks. Ford's at a major resistance levels too here. I don't know if anyone jumped into that one a while ago, but that's also testing some big resistance coming up to that. A lot of them are at big resistance. We're like right there, Josh. I mean, like Tesla's right there. Ford's there. They're all at this major resistance number. Delta is right there. Just need like one. If we had like one crazy news that just came out, some really good news, like China fulls.
Yeah. I mean, well, there was at least good news from this morning and yesterday with the Ukraine minerals agreement, but that clearly didn't push the market up as much as like the China deal is the bigger one, right?
I don't know if there's any mineral stocks. I mean, we would see them show up on a big percentage gainers and losers,
Waiting on the Kids trade to try and either break a little higher here or I'm just going to watch, see what it does. Go right back over to NAOV. I am happy I moved on. Just take a little money and run, set your stop, break even. Hey, when this happens, it's the right call. It's like, okay, I went par, made like a small little chump change amount. It's like better that than holding on to this thing now.
Keep an eye on Kid Z. Oh, looks like it's consolidating here. Let's see. Not yet, but see, it doesn't make right now. It's a higher low, but let's see. It's was almost testing that high. Like Hood hit a big resistance levels, starting to back off. I mean, these are things of like, this is what we teach in like in phase 3, and Josh talks a little bit on phase 2. I know a lot of you guys did upgrade to those classes, from being a cyber group member. you could always buy it back. You know what I mean? Like you never want to, own it at a high and sell it at a low, or be discouraged. Sometimes it's okay to take a profit. I chase stocks all the time.
Here, go back to Kids Rich. Looks like it might be doing what Fausto is suggesting there. See if we can build higher now and try and push.
Yeah, I mean, those people that we saw earlier, those 200,000 share buyers are still out there. I mean, they did ladder down a little bit. Be pretty cool if they laddered up right now.
See, this is where we say every trade begins with the entry. Before you even think about your target and what, make sure that you know why you're jumping in. Now, for me, I've been with Fausto for like 11 years now. So, after like the first couple months, it took me, and just you realize when he says certain things, you might want to listen a little bit.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Like that?
Yeah. So when you said it was starting, to make sure this still holds. But wait, out. I just got out of 308.
This thing is volatile right now.
I thought it was going to blow the roof off of 320. If it goes back over 320, I'm just going to look to try and jump back in quick.
$3 for 19,000.
Yep, here we go. That was a nasty shake there. I didn't like that there at first, but you don't want to have funny business. No funny business. No unexpected shakes. Have it play nice. So I was going to say I took that entry just before, but as it was pulling back a little bit, I was like, the one from earlier I called out before, ETWO, E2. That's starting to push up a little bit right now as well.
It's moving up a little bit too. Could be a sleeper. Hertz is moving up a little bit this morning. Market's up pretty well. It's up about 270 points. S&P's up 56.
Hertz is holding a little bit from where it gapped up, back from the end of last month there. It's an interesting. I want to keep my eyes on Hertz day to day more. I got to remember this more as a name, just to see what it does.
You know what it is? I have like 3 watch lists that I have, and they're pretty long. I think I'm monitoring probably, I don't know, maybe 60 stocks. Some of them are like big movers that we had. Then there's the swing trading ones that we have, and there's our day trading ones. I like to have like 3 watch lists.
ETWO starting to push a little bit here. It might go up a little bit more. It's been a good move off of $2.50. Not huge money, but it's money. That's all we care about right now. A day like today, I feel like has been a little stagnant. It's good to for the nickels and dimes. If you're up a little bit, if you're a little uncertain, just take the money and run.
He's holding there that buyer on Kid Z at $3 for 37,000.
And the thing is, where we say take the money and run, that's generally good advice, but not every day do we always just, we're not always, nickels and dimes every morning. A day like today, at least, once you see things begin to consolidate more compared to breaking out, it's like, okay, it's probably more of a quiet channeling type of day.
Really need some good news to come out on Amazon.
Just mentioned this, Fausto, here on CEP. This actually is pretty cool. A new order on the bid showed up for the CEP trade. Pretty good support, about 50,000 shares almost.
That's a good order.
It's down there though at $49, so kind of far, but it just showed up in the last 1 minute.
49 is pretty much out of the way, but that kind of did push it up a little bit. It's funny. I just noticed it. I didn't have it on level 4, but there's a shitload of sellers out here. It was a big ass seller. He pulled his order like 3 times. You see the order at 60?
At 60, right?
Yeah, he was out there. He pulled it. He's been out there since pre-market. Early this morning.
This is what I just said with ETWO. We were just saying nickels and dimes day, unfortunately. So that one just came right back down.
Yeah, he just laddered down at 58.
Ugh.
What's the high? 57.20. I don't know. I think this is a short squeeze.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, all-time highs. This is incredible.
The chart looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks exactly like Newsmax. Well, not as bad as that one. That was pretty bad. That went from 2 days, went from 14 to 250.
It's funny. Sometimes I feel like the boy who cried wolf on some of these trades because they tease us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't want to get teased, but if the thing is not dropping and it's still fighting a little bit, you don't want to forget about it because you know that you'll feel like really bad about yourself once that stock pops and you're like, oh, I knew I should have, I could have. So the one I said earlier, NAOV, I'm still watching it. It's not, dead, I guess. It dropped before. I was happy with, but this thing's teasing. Ooh, new seller popped up on CEP, which I think you may have mentioned just before, perhaps. I think that you just made mention of that.
At 58?
The ladder down, I think. Yeah, now
Wait.
at 58, you got that big seller.
77. It's a lot. It's a lot of it's a lot of shares. And you see what the volume is right now? 4.5 million. You know what I mean? Like that's not a lot of volume for big block orders of like 77,200. I mean, that's those are pretty big ass big block orders. I think it's a short squeeze.
That kid's trade, I don't think, is going to be a good mover until it gets over 330-ish. That thing's dead in the water for now.
Every time I think of a short squeeze, I think of Steve Cohen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
From the New York Mets.
Oh yeah.
From,
did you see the last night? This is unfortunate. Someone fell off like it was in Pittsburgh, the Pirates field. They fell over the outfield wall,
Really?
like a fan. You see this?
That's crazy. Really?
Yeah, they fell 21 feet above, like onto the outfield. A crazy scene. Yeah, very sad. When speaking of baseball, I just figured it was on my mind.
Did he make it?
What was that?
Is he still alive?
Yeah. I unfortunately think he was pretty intoxicated. I think that's what came out. So, wishing for the best, obviously, but in critical condition, he says. Jeez.
Hope he fell on his freaking head or neck, was dead.
The Mets doing pretty good though this year. Pretty good start.
The Mets, yeah, I'm going to actually go into the game today. Actually,
oh, nice.
it's an early game.
I love Citi Field.
It's going to be I'm going to be late. I mean, obviously, I have the two speakings today, so games at 1 o'clock. Sometime I'm done, I'll take two. But you know where I live. It's literally it's a 10-minute train ride. Drops right off in front of there.
Yeah,
so
that's nice.
I'm just going to go with my wife. I guess someone called me last minute. Say, hey, Fausto, I got seats right behind the dugout. If you want to go.
Nice. Hey, I'll look out for you there. I love going to Citi Field. Tickets aren't too expensive. I mean, it's pretty decent, and it's a nice neighborhoodly ballpark, especially for you. I mean, even for me when I was in Long Island, but like for you, take a 10-minute train ride. That is so easy.
Drops right off there.
Stops you right at the stadium, pretty much.
They did a really nice job building that stadium. Like, I don't like Yankee Stadium. I go to Yankees a lot, but I personally, I'm not a fan of the stadium, what they did to it. The Shea Stadium, they kind of copy like Coors Field. I don't know if anyone here goes to baseball games, but like they copy that. If you ever come to Long Island and if you're a hockey fan, they did. It's ranked probably the best stadium out of them all for the hockey field where the Islanders play, even though they suck. But if you're want to come see your favorite team, I mean, they did a beautiful job in that stadium.
Yeah, it was the UBS, right?
The UBS, yeah. Come see a concert or something. They did a really nice job in there.
Actually went there for a UFC fight when they first opened up. It was a really nice time.
Mm-hmm.
Rich saying Z-Car moving back up a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting close.
Yeah, damn straight it is. Yeah. Again, be careful on that spread, but we know that's kind of expected now on this trade. It's going up so nice. So
trade small size. Big green ball. Someone's going to smack them. Didn't I say this thing was, I saw something out and it broke right through it. Didn't I just say that? But I said like, something's going on with the Z-Car. Looks like it's consolidating. When you look at that order, this is what I'm trying to compare the difference between the CEP and this one. This stock traded over almost 25 million shares. All right. And you're looking at iceberg orders at like 10, 15,000. And then when you look at CEP and you're seeing iceberg orders, of like 77,000, 300,000, only traded like 4.5 million. That's why right away it tells me short squeeze.
Rich just made a good call out right now to Fausto on the APLD trade. Just a minute or two ago, he shouted it out saying moving up to $5. This is a really nice stock. We love trading this APLD, when it's moving. It's an AI stock. They were partnered with NVIDIA from the end of last year. And pull back on the daily chart, Rich, zoom out. You'll see that it tanked. It got crushed off of that news with NVIDIA. Back from February time, right?
Mm-hmm.
From 12 down to 4. And I'll tell you, unfortunately, and we'll find it soon enough, because typically when I begin the coaching sessions at 10:30, 11 o'clock, we always find some good movers that will start making a run. Hopefully some of the smaller cap inexpensive stocks start pushing up a little bit. We did well on kids in pre-market and at the open. Oh my God, Fausto, take a look on kids here. I'm going to post this just in the trading room. Maybe not as an alert, but this will just be more for like education.
All the ladder down?
Yeah, look at this ladder going downward. Pretty funky.
A double ladder, not even a single.
Double. And it's like perfect too.
Yeah. Like little baby. It's like it looks like a pair of steps in like Italy. Very long, very small, and very tight.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's funny.
Andrea probably knows what I'm talking about.
The CEP is trying to go up to that resistance at $58.
By the way, just I see a couple of people scanning the QR code on top left-hand corner. If you're watching, we are going to be getting off the mic in about less than 15 minutes. I'm going to be doing a free class at 12 o'clock, teaching you how to use level 3 and level 4, how to trade on NASDAQ and use the NASDAQ book viewer. Just take your phone, scan the QR code, right-hand corner. Just got to put your name and email, and that's it. And we'll get you in there. 12 o'clock, live presentation with me. So before it's too late, while you're sitting there watching, get it out of the way now.
Yep. And hey, we're going to be talking more, even not just day trading, but swing trading as well, with the major companies that have been reporting from last week, this week: Tesla, NVIDIA, Google, Amazon. NVIDIA's, their earnings are for another couple of weeks from now. But, big webinar today going over some of the larger cap stocks and how you could look to swing trade them.
Yeah, NVIDIA always likes to be different. They always like to put their earnings in a different type of way out of like earnings season.
So a couple things here. Looks like kids is trying to start to rev up. It took a while, and it needs to get over more so like 320-ish. But then also COMM, the book map for this one looks really bad. But as far as the chart goes, it's starting to go back up a little bit. Nice little move. Oh, 50,000 share buyer just showed up. Rich, that's on your matrix. That's at $4.40. That just popped up right now as I'm talking.
What, comms?
That's good.
I was just happening to just look at Ford really quick too. That thing's had a really good run. Very slow stock, but it's at major resistance now. It's up almost there, about 10 cents away. That was a pretty good move this morning. I called that earlier. Just let everybody know also too that are here. We have some new members and we have some new students that's starting out. Me and Josh and Rich like to bounce around a little bit because sometimes you miss one stock. Maybe there's another one out there. We don't like to focus on one stock only because we like to give you to explore different ones. If somebody missed one, they get in something else. And if you miss that one, you miss one. You're going to miss like 90% of them. So we get to the 10th one. Maybe that's the one that you might want to consider getting in.
And the key is, of course, we train you how to not get as overwhelmed with all these call outs. So to the naked eye, if you feel like it's a bit confusing or fast, that's expected. That's normal. It's like stepping into a batting cage and attempting to hit a super fast, pitch. We train you how to slow the speed of the ball down. It becomes a lot easier as you begin to go through our classes. I'm going to post this here on that trade I called out, and the heat map looks really ugly, but I kind of made a little circle square there for that new iceberg that showed up.
A lot of weird stocks I've never seen before that are moving.
You know what? Let me
It's just like
actually
there's just
see.
so many of them out there.
I'll redo that actually. There we go.
There's a stock ATI that I'm seeing is popping up here. Like, where the hell this come from? $40 to $60. I mean, it's a pretty big ass move. 20 points is never look at the 40 to 60. Let's say if you bought 100 shares, that means you bought a stock at $4 and it ran to $6. That's how I kind of look at it, percentage wise.
You did really well on one trade. It was similar to this actually. What was it? FTAI. It was a more expensive one.
Oh yeah. That was the it was
It was a dead cat bounce. You nailed it. It was I
what was it?
forgot the ticker.
What was it? FTAY? No, what was it?
It was an AI one for sure. I know that.
No,
It
it was
ended in
it
AI.
wasn't AI. It was shit. What was it? Somebody here remembers it. I can't remember every single one of them.
100% it was an AI one.
It was this stock that got destroyed. It went like 180 and it dropped all the way down to like $80.
Mm-hmm.
And it came back. It was a good, nice little dead cat bounce.
I'll remember it eventually.
I deleted it off my watch list. Kids is trying to go up again. Just keep an eye on the kids. It's going to test that 320. No, it wasn't BBAI, John.
I don't mind buying from a higher price level, at least if there's a reason to, so that kids, yeah, if it breaks resistance now, there's a better chance. But where do you see that, Fausto? 320-ish, 330-ish, maybe?
You drive me crazy. I'm sorry, I'm not listening. I'm trying to figure this stock. I'm like, you got me totally like freaked out. I'm like, shit, how did I not know the stock? And it's like on the tip of my tongue. It's like I'm missing one letter.
I think it was FTAI. I think it was because when you look at that graph, you did it from January. It went from 180 up to like 150 even.
FT?
Yeah, I think it was this. It was expensive. And it went, like you said, from 80 to like 100 plus whatever. There's that big drop.
Yeah, that was it. 180, dropped down to 80. We got in around 90. I sold around like 125. And then I'm like, I wake up next morning, it's like 160.
All right, there's our pop on kids. This is what we needed here over 320-ish. Stop right here. Make sure that this isn't a head fake, but
it's got nasty shakes in it. You know what I mean?
Now you got to have these orders ladder up on the bid, not ladder down. If this wants to pop, then I think we need to see that.
Could we see another halt?
CEP, now you have a ladder on the way down. So that's actually a pretty good pattern there too. Just easy to see. Wouldn't say good in the sense of it moving up. Probably going to push it down a bit with this, but
Weight Watchers had a little fun. It must have been old day traders when we traded. Just happened to look at it. I'm like, okay, you're off my list.
A nice catch from later right there. Got in on kids at 311, got out at 335. Very nice.
Wow, big pop in hymns. Huge.
Yeah, definitely nice bounce. You know, breaking back up again.
Mark up 300.
That was off the Wagovi news, right?
The hymns, yeah. No, Wagovi. Well, yeah, because it's with Nuva.
Novo, yeah.
But that was a pretty big bounce. It just came up. I don't know where that came from. But Dow Dow's doing pretty good. Making higher highs right now. Looks like he's doing a gap fill.
Something's happening on that COM trade I called out earlier. I said it had a very ugly looking heat map, and it still does. But check this out, Fausto. I'm going to post this again in the room. You got a giant 3-layer cake of iceberg orders out there on the buy side. Something's weird here.
Lita, you took the profit, right? Good for you, Lita.
Look at that. I made my little rectangle there showing you see those 3 icebergs on the buy side.
CLSK. I think this, the only thing I don't like about the Kid Z is just like it's doing these like nasty shakes. That ladder is still there, but it's like it's consolidating. It's like if you can get it at the bottom of the consolidation, but there's a 57,000 shares showed up. I don't know. Could it pop again? We'll see.
As long as it stays over like 315-ish at this point for me, I think that we're in good
Oh,
shape.
He pulled his order.
We need to have those orders on the bid ladder up for the kids.
It's going to go. And, I hate to say this, there's nobody out there.
I just got out right now, 380. I just closed my trade out right now, Fausto. Bam, bam, bam.
There's nobody. Oh,
I was waiting on this last pop.
There's a guy keep pulling and canceling at $4.
Oh, man.
Ooh,
Ella just took her profit.
$2. Oh, your buddy down there laddered up.
Yo, right now they just did. I'm happy I got out though. I got out right at 3. Again. They are laddering up at least.
He's laddering up again.
If this pops more, I'll root everyone else on. But this was a great trade, even if you jumped in, as we said, from like 320-ish when you take the break above resistance. I don't mind buying higher because there was a reason to, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said it earlier on a trade as well. I think it actually may have been this exact trade, actually, but this is doing really nice. Bell taking her money and running. She was in from 3, so that's a nice trade.
And he laddered up again.
Yep. Let's see what happens now. Listen, this is a nice 50-cent trade, at least if you're in from 320-ish, 325, like you were able to take some money at least there. And even if you were in from lower, better. But we're heading into reversal time, so you want to feel good with taking profits that you're happy with.
Now, if anybody here wants to attend me at 12 o'clock, if you want to see what the ladder is, you want to know level 3 and level 4 is, this is your last chance. We're going to be logging up, getting off, me and Josh getting off the mic. Take your phone, scan the QR code, top right-hand corner, or you can type it manually, ctu.co/free. Students, as always, you're always welcome to be there. It's always nice to meet and try to help recruit new traders to come join the family, see if they are qualified. Listen, trading's not for everybody. But here's your chance to kind of learn a little bit more about it. If you want to know how we find stocks like this up 200% and how we know they continue to go up, there's your chance to do it. And other than that, Josh, everything looks pretty good for so far. Pretty good day so far. Yeah, not that big of a list, but good, decent market going up. Don't really think it was more of a brand name stock other than just trading the ones that we had on our top 2 list, the Z car and the Kid Z, and that's all we need.
Absolutely. And hey, even if you didn't catch this last wave on kids, you were able to take advantage of it from the pre-market hours with us inside our live trading room. So this has been actually a really good morning. Maybe there was like a 15-minute pause where things were slow for a bit, but really nice moves here.
Yep. All right. With that said, we'll see you guys back here at 12 o'clock. And if you can't make it 12 o'clock, just make sure you just register, and you can always catch the recording later. All right, guys, good luck.